Hello, hello. We're starting out today with a cat in the camera. All right. Okay, I'm trying to stream a little bit or on different platforms today too, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, I forgot music. Oopsies. Oh my gosh, she is so cute. What a great start to a stream. It's funny because usually my other cat, Ariel, is the one that likes to sit near me while I'm working. But the past 2 times I've streamed, it's been Alice. Kind of funny. Okay, let me get my music going. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it though. I want to try to see about like playing it right through my computer. But I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this. No, I don't like it. I should have chosen my music before, sorry. I need to find a better playlist. I want to just listen to Harry Potter music, but I'm pretty sure that I won't be allowed to do that. So, I mean, maybe this will be fine. That's a little loud. Alexa, turn down the volume. Oh, here's the other kitty too. I guess I'll have to have 2 cat cams. Well, I mean, technically, I would have 3. Because my name is Cat. So, 3 cat cams. Alright. I finally am figuring out the streaming software and stuff. Which is kind of crazy. Not crazy, but awesome, I guess. It's good that I'm finally figuring it out. Because now I can see... I just added Restream to my stuff that I have, I guess. Oops. So now I can see my messages and I can see how many people are watching. I'm figuring some things out. Alright. Hello. I'm also streaming on TikTok, so let's hope that I actually remember that I'm doing that. Okay, let's get started. I am loving this piece of art that I'm working on. I did a little bit of it off of stream, so, I mean by a little bit, I mean I maybe laid down this wing, the inside of the wing, I think. So not much would have been missed. I'm also live on YouTube right now, and I haven't done anything on YouTube in like 3 years probably. So I'm excited to be getting back into that. So I drew out the line art, and now I am just using some glue and drawing the lines with the glue. So I'm going to work like up here, I think. So I just draw a line of glue, and then I take the black yarn and stick it down, and then I just cut it to length. I call this technique yarn painting. I don't know if this is a thing, but I love doing it. Maybe this should just be like my main thing. I don't know. Well, I prefer clay over all things, but This is good though. I feel kind of silly because for the longest time, when I was streaming on Twitch, I was just having a window open with like a tab open for my Twitch stream, like on actual Twitch. Like I was watching myself stream. And I feel silly because I could have been using Restream, which is what I'm using right now, to at least be able to see all the stuff. Or I might just be dumb, and there might be a different way to see the chat and stuff. I might have just accidentally closed it through OBS one time, but didn't realize I could turn it back on, I guess. I don't know. New to this, so this is where we're at. I hope the music isn't too loud. It doesn't seem like it is. I guess I'll see when I watch this back. My goal is to start like editing my lives and just posting those on YouTube. Because like this type of thing, this big project here, would be a good one to put. Especially because like I don't think this is a very common art form. So I would like to share it. Sometimes I trim the string before and then I can just stick it on. But most of the time I put the string on the glue and then I trim it. If it's really small though, it is easier to just trim it first. It's nice because as it starts to dry, you can kind of push it and like I guess specify where you want it to go. I still need to figure out how to do the overlay stuff for Twitch and everything though. That is not something I've figured out yet. That's okay though. As long as I learn a bit each time I stream, I'm happy. It's nice to get back into creating content. I was about to say it'll give me something to do this summer when I'm not teaching, but I'm pretty sure I'll have plenty to do this summer. In fact, I pulled into my driveway, not this morning, last night, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what, this summer I should replant my whole front area, I should power wash the house, and I should paint my shed. That's a lot I'm adding to my list, considering I need to tear out the floors. I have to tear out the subfloors in my office, which I'm in right now, because part of it is starting to kind of sink, which is safe that I'm sitting in here with my expensive equipment, but it's fine. We'll be fine. Gotta do what you gotta do. But I think it's because it gets there's too much moisture under my house. So we have to look into like getting some vents installed. And also, we want to replace our flooring anyway. We have carpet right now, and I think carpet's gross, so I would much rather have anything other than carpet. Hardwood floors, well, we can't do hardwood floors, but we could do like laminate or what's the other, vinyl? I'm thinking just vinyl because it's cheap and you can get pretty nice looking vinyl these days. We would just need to look for like thicker vinyl so it doesn't snag or anything. So this is a really slow process, but it's really satisfying. I'm hoping I'll get to the color part today. It seems like I'm kind of going through the line work pretty quick, so. This part here in the middle, though, is going to be like fluffy. So I'm not going to outline any of this because I want it to stick out kind of beyond the rest of the yarn. Because I want it to look like an actual fuzzy bee. So there's this little kid's book, and it's called Too Much Glue. And I had my students listen to that. I'll just play like a story, especially when I do art on a cart, because I need that time to set up most of the time. So I had them watch Too Much Glue, and I think it's kind of funny because I myself, I use a lot of glue. I have a gallon jug of glue sitting next to me right now. And I mean, I haven't used this whole bottle yet, but this was filled up, I think at the beginning, not of this project, but of one right before this. So I go through so much glue, and I'll probably go through at least a full bottle as I do this whole project, which is why I have a gallon of glue. But when you need glue to attach all of your lines, it kind of makes sense. I just think it's funny that, like, don't use too much glue. I mean, if they buy their own glue, they can use as much as they want. I buy my own glue. Hence why I have a gallon of it at my own home. Oh, it's been getting warmer here, which is really nice. We were predicted to have an early spring by the groundhog Phil. I don't know how true that is for us, though, because I was looking at the weather and it's supposed to get really cold again and snow. So I don't know if I trust it, but we'll see. But we are supposed to get up to almost 60 degrees, which is insane for February. We never get that warm in February. Okay, I'm gonna work down here, and then I think I'm gonna just turn it. I have a tendency to look ahead on like the forecast, so I look and see not only what it's going to be like for the next 10 days or whatever, but I look for, we have like a 45-day view on the app that I have. And I mean, it's probably not the most accurate, but it says even into March it's supposed to be pretty cold. And I was like, I don't know if I want a 60-degree day in February if that means that it's going to be 30 degrees in March. But I guess you never know, right? It might end up warming up sooner than the app is saying. I just want to start going on walks again outside, but I could do that right now. I could do it while it's still cold, but I don't want to. I don't want to freeze. I do go for walks occasionally in the winter, but there isn't like there aren't the best places to go for walks around, like right by where I live. I would have to literally walk in the woods or on a road. So those are my choices, and I don't really like them. So instead, I'll wait. Because otherwise there's like paths that aren't cleared very often. So Which is interesting because the city I live in is really good about clearing like the streets and stuff. But sidewalks? No way. Why would anyone need a sidewalk? I saw this person walking their dog, and their dog could barely even get through the snow on the sidewalk. It was a pretty big dog, too. But we had gotten... I don't remember what the total was. But one snowstorm, we got like 6 inches, and then we got like 4. So probably around 10 inches of snow total. So this dog was just like picking his feet up really, really high. It was kind of funny. So I don't know if I want to outline this part of the bee the way that I am the rest. I think so. But it's tough because I want it to look fuzzy. I mean, it is being made with yarn, so it's probably going to look fuzzy. But I drew it so it looked like it had the little fuzz lines there. This is a really funny thought considering the fact that there really isn't anyone watching, but who was I talking with? I don't know. I don't remember. But I was talking with someone about like ADHD and how it's been like popularized, not necessarily popularized, but more people have it or seem to have it. And I think that person had mentioned how it seems weird that like streamers and so many YouTubers all have ADHD. And I was like, why is that surprising? Who would be better suited to sitting in a room, creating something or playing a game for hours on end by themselves, talking to themselves, but actually talking to others and being comfortable talking to themselves for hours and just, like, who would be better suited than someone with ADHD? You know what I mean? Like, we are hardwired to talk, I guess. If my husband decided he wanted to stream, I don't know how he would do. Because he just, like, when he plays games and stuff, if he were to stream, like, playing games, he just would run out of things to say so quickly. It takes me a minute sometimes to think of things to talk about, but usually I can come up with something random. I could just talk or say all my thoughts out loud. That might be dangerous. Never mind, I'm not gonna do that. That's not happening. But one time when I was getting ready for my wedding, my husband had been like seeing me get really stressed, and I was just like super stressed this whole time. And he's like, you know what? We were in the car, and he's like, just say everything that pops into your head from here till we get to the store. And I was like, are you sure you want to listen to that? Are you sure you want me to say all of the thoughts? He's like, yeah, it can't be that bad, right? I did not stop talking. I hardly took a breath the entire way to the store. And he was like, it's not humanly possible. You can't think that much. And the funny part is that I did not share all my thoughts because I have simultaneous thoughts. So while I was saying something, I would be thinking something else too, which is kind of insane when you think about it. But also for my husband, who can literally just sit and think about nothing, I think his brain broke thinking about how many thoughts I have. And that's like, that was in the span of like 10 minutes. So I was like, just imagine that, but all day long. That is what my brain is like. And I used to hate that. I used to hate the fact that I was always overwhelmed with thoughts. But for something like streaming, it's actually really handy. Like I said, because I can just come up with random stuff to talk about. And I can be spontaneous and kind of weird, but I'm also just always weird, so. Oh my gosh, it's 6:25 already? What? It hasn't been that long. What? I have been live for 20 minutes already. Wow. So I am thinking of leaning into the whole bee thing that I'm doing right now for like my style. Well, I don't know. Style is an interesting term when it comes to like making art because like I have a style for a lot of things that I do that's kind of cartoony, cutesy, I don't know what I would call it. But I also do really angsty stuff, so I don't know which way to lean. I guess I kind of work with my materials and kind of change my style based on it. So like if I make ceramic stuff, I have a tendency to go more like, I don't want to say dark, but maybe like dark fantasy style, something like that, because I make like fairy houses, little tiny houses, and I started making a hobbit hole, but I also made like this sculpture of a girl, but she was like crumbling. My favorite thing ever, honestly. It's probably my favorite piece I've ever made in clay. My college professor described it as angsty, so there's that, but that's okay. I was definitely angsty at that time. Some people might still call me that. I don't know. I think I'm also really positive, so I don't know. How can you be positive and angsty at the same time? I'm not sure. Maybe I am just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just confused. Now that is accurate. That just makes me think of The Office when they hire Erin, the secretary. She's like, I get confused. Oh man. Me too, Erin. Okay, so these lines need to be a little wiggly. Oh my gosh, I played a game with my students today, kindergartners. I call it the line game, and I use it to teach them horizontal, vertical, diagonal lines. And today I added wiggly, so I had them put their arms out to the sides for horizontal, and then I had them like do the wave with their arms to make it a wiggly line. They were loving it. But I don't think I've played that game with some of my students yet. I'll have to introduce that this week then. It's a pretty fun game. Gets them up and moving, gets them to associate the terms with the lines. Man, I hope those kids get to like senior year of high school and their art teacher is like, so you're gonna draw a horizontal line to make a horizon, And I hope they just instinctively stick their arms out to the sides. That would be hilarious. Hello. Kids are funny like that, though. I mean, I still remember my first grade teacher. I mean, this wasn't something she taught me, but it's something that I vividly remember about her. She was able to cut paper into shapes without drawing anything first. And this was just like my classroom teacher. And I just remember telling myself, I want to be like that someday. Like, that's the funniest thing. All these other kids are like, I want to be an astronaut. And I'm like, I want to cut something out without drawing it out first. That's such a me thing. At that age, I was also drawing monster trucks to avoid getting bullied. Which is an interesting defense mechanism. There was this kid that would, like, constantly pick on me. And, I mean, I guess kind of bully me. He was, like, relentless, and he would not leave me alone. But one day I was just drawing. I don't remember if I was actually drawing a monster truck or if he asked me if I could. But I was just drawing one day, and then I drew a monster truck, and the kid saw it. He was like, that's so cool. So I drew, like, a bunch of them, gave one to the kid, and he never bullied me again. So sometimes drawing can save you from being bullied. That's the message I'm sending here. I guess it depends on what you're drawing. I guess if you can draw the thing the kid likes, I don't know. Maybe that's not the best message to send. Maybe it's more just do your own thing. Do what you enjoy. And ignore people that are not nice. But also there's another message in there. The kid that bullied me, I think he did it because he had a glass eye, and he would just, I think, get bullied by his brothers. So he would just come to school and take it out on me. I don't remember if he, like, started bullying someone else instead after that or what. But anyway, new topic. Let's see. Oh, coffee. That's a good topic. Don't know how I got to that, but I have had a Keurig sitting on a shelf for like 2 years now, maybe 3 years, that I haven't used because I'm a goofball and I didn't think about the fact that I needed to plug it in, so it couldn't reach the plug. But finally I was like, you know what? I was making pour over coffee because I make like these pour over coffee makers out of clay. But I stopped doing that a while back. I think when the school year started because I just didn't have the time for it. So I've been drinking instant coffee for a while now. And it's not great. So I finally was like, you know what? I have this thing. I can just buy some K-Pods and I can just use it. So I made my first cup of coffee with a Keurig after a few years. Not that it's anything special, but it was much better than instant coffee. Still not as good as pour over coffee though. When summer gets here, I'm going to switch back to that. I want to make it like a part of my morning ritual so that I keep it when I get back to school next year. I'm also hoping that I end up teaching high school next year, but we'll see. The district I teach at, you can put in like a formal request to be transferred. Doesn't mean that you will be transferred, but they take it into account. makes me glad that some people are drawn to being elementary art teachers, which, like, I can do the job, it's fine, but I miss the deeper learning that you can, I guess, guide the students in when you teach high school. Especially because, like, once you get to high school, there's students choosing to be in art. Beginning art, not so much, but you can hopefully maybe instill a little bit of that desire to learn about art. Alexa, turn the volume down. That was getting loud. I couldn't even focus on myself talking. Oh my gosh. I forget what I was talking about. That's good. I think I was talking about high school art and how it's more meaningful. Also, I just don't want 400 students anymore. Can you imagine trying to remember 400 students' names? Maybe I would still have 400 students. If I have like 6 classes a day, 5 classes, 6 classes, something like that, and it's 30 kids in each. Oh man, why am I trying to do math? Well, okay. I can do this. 5 times 3 is 15. 150. Oh my gosh, that's so much more manageable than 400. No, I don't even have 400 students. I have closer to 500 students. Someone please tell me how you remember 500 names. 500. It's too many. Like, how does one remember that many names? And oh my gosh, I had this PD, it means professional development. I had this professional development that I had to go to. And this guy opened this thing, which is it was supposed to be a talk about how to help with behavior issues. And he opened up his, like, talk. I don't know what to call it. It wasn't a lecture. But he opened it up with, the first thing you need to know is learn all of their names. And I was like, sir, you're kidding me. And I think the guy was the principal of the school we were at for it. I'm like, you do not know all of your students' names. You do not know every name of every student in the school. There's literally no way. He probably knows the names of the students who go down to the office a lot. Like, let's be honest. Or maybe the kids that are really good, I guess. But I'm like, what are you talking about? 500 names. How? And he said you should know all of their names by the first month, which sounds reasonable until, again, you remember that there's 500 names and I see them once a week. So if I see a student once a week, that's 4 times that I see them that I have to remember their names. No. I still don't remember their names sometimes. Actually, I've been really struggling with names lately. For some reason, I have been mixing them up with each other and with, like, students who aren't in the class, and I'm really not sure why. It just started happening about, like, I think a week ago. I think my brain has just had enough. It's just like, nope, we can't hold any more information. And I was just enrolled in, like, a month-long training. So guess what that means? More information. Good, good. Just what I needed. More information in my brain. Good stuff. Of course I'm kidding. I don't need any more information. So the training that I'm going to be doing, I don't even know what it's about. I don't know. So it's for something called PYP, which I don't understand what that is. The kicker, though, we have to do like a 4-hour-a-week PD for a month. Professional development. I keep forgetting. People who aren't teachers don't really know what that means. But we got an email from the person who's coordinating it. And in the email, she's like, we're all experts and we're all going to share our things about PYP. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't even know what PYP means. I don't know what it means. Person you prefer, I don't know. People you, I don't know, I can't even think of acronyms. But like, I don't even know what this means. What do you mean we're experts? What? So I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't know what they expect us to know about it. I thought the whole point of this was to teach us about it. I hope they do, because otherwise I'm going to be making things up when I share my blogs, which apparently we need to write a blog for this, which is so exciting. I love it. I love it so much. I feel like I should have more of this done, but I keep talking and moving my hands because I am an expressive talker. I need to figure out what color I'm going to do the feet, because I don't want to do it all black. I want you to be able to see like the individual parts. I'll probably end up doing like a dark gray, but I don't really have a super dark gray. I guess I could do blue. This is the darkest gray I have, though. It's not super dark. Oh well. Excuse me. Maybe I do have a dark gray. I'm not looking at the whole thing. That's fine. I gotta decide what I want to do for the wings and stuff. I think, even if I don't start putting on the colors, I'm at least gonna decide the colors today. Even if I'm still working on the outline. A lot of times I don't like to start filling in the outlines until everything's dry, because then you don't have to worry about the yarn pushing the outline out. Because every once in a while you'll get the yarn like pushing out on the outlines and it'll all spread out and look weird. My favorite thing about this style of art that I'm doing is that you can like touch it, and I mean it can get dirty, so but you can't really see that it's dirty, I guess. It's made to be felt, which I like. I like textiles. Texture, all that jazz. Oh my gosh. I don't know where that yawn came from. Maybe I should have had another cup of coffee. No, that would have been such a bad choice. From what I just said, though, I feel like it's pretty obvious that I teach elementary students. Because I'm always like, is that a good choice? I feel like that's a bad choice. Instead of saying, that's stupid, or something like that. Even though most of the time, the bad choice that a student makes is indeed stupid. But that would be frowned upon. Maybe I should just start filling in the color. I could do it. I gotta glue down the edge pieces though if I'm gonna do that. Oh, I didn't even do the edge pieces here. Whoa. Whoopsies. Sorry that was loud. I'm gonna have like a grand total of zero watchers on YouTube, it looks like. That's okay. Considering, again, I have not posted on my YouTube channel in 3 years. I think that's valid. This is exactly why wrapping it around the edges with the design is not ideal. I mean, I guess I could have just done a solid color around the edge. Because I have to kind of stick it down if I'm gonna... Yeah, I have a feeling this is not really gonna stick. Okay, I give up on the sides already. It's fine. Alright, I'm just going to continue going down here. I feel like I wasn't that tired before I started streaming. I'm shocked that my cat has been laying there for this whole time. 43 minutes. So I'm hoping to get back to streaming more often. I was thinking of streaming on Saturdays, but right now I'm working on painting Business's sign. Which I thought about streaming that, but I'm painting it in the basement of the business, so I don't really have the capabilities to stream from there. Also, I guess that doesn't matter, but so my goal is once I'm done with that sign, which I have to say it looks so good in my opinion. But once I'm done with that, I think I'm gonna start going back to streaming on Saturdays too, because I would like to stream some clay art. I don't know if that means like pottery wheel stuff, because then that means I have to figure out how to stream out in a shed. Which I can do that on my phone. I've done that before. I used to stream on TikTok out there. I think you can stream from an iPad, but I don't know. I don't think that would be powerful enough. So, I guess we'll see. I might have just sounded super dumb by saying that. I don't know. Who knows? A lot of the things I say are dumb. And when I'm streaming, it's putting it out on the internet, which is definitely great. This song kind of annoys me, so I'm going to skip it. I have not taken a drink of water this entire time. That's good. And that is why I drink out of this big of a gallon, or not a whole gallon. It holds... spilled water. My lid wasn't closed. What the heck is wrong with me? Why wasn't the lid closed? Now my arm is cold. Anyway. So someone was asking me, like, why I want to stream. Because, like, it's not necessarily lucrative, at least at first. And I was making money on YouTube, but I'm not really sure how it works with live streaming on YouTube, so when it comes to making money, it's a little what's the word I'm looking for? I'm unsure of it, but that's not why I'm streaming. I'm streaming to hopefully, like, share my knowledge and inspire someone else, but also to, like, share the message that I very much believe in, that anyone can make art. I mean, granted, I'm an art teacher, so obviously a lot of my life revolves around making art, so therefore I'm in good practice. Like, I make it a lot, so I'm practicing making art. So, like, yeah, some people might think that I'm better, I guess, because of that. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Because this music is a little... I don't know. It's not calm enough. More calm, please. I'm gonna try looking it up. I just want to listen to Harry Potter music. Am I gonna get in trouble? That's my question. Would I get in trouble if I were to do that? I don't know. That is the question. I highly doubt they'd be like, oh man, this girl had 1 viewer. Let's go take her stream down. I don't really know how any of that works, though. The beauty of learning everything again for the first time. Of course, sarcasm was meant there. Oh my gosh, the cat is so cute. If I weren't me, I would very much enjoy watching this stream that there's a cat laying in it. I made that too long. Dang it. This is a small issue that I end up facing with yarn paintings. If I set yarn down and it's too long, taking it off and trimming it is difficult because it's gluey. That's okay. I like a little bit of a challenge. I like this style because it mixes craft with fine art. I think that's why I like it so much, because a lot of people argue about whether crafting counts as art. I think it does, 100%. Like, you're telling me you don't think crocheting is an art form? Have you seen how hard it is to crochet? And, like, the amount of time it takes? How is that not art? If we think music is an art form, crocheting is an art form. That wasn't a dig at music. It was just like more to use it to add the effect of duh. Of course, both things are art. Because they are. I was actually watching this video. Oh my gosh, this was like really surprising. It was a girl that was she was using a crocheting machine or a knitting machine, one of the two. I think it was a knitting machine. But she was recording how long it took her to make a hat, a singular hat. And I've heard so many people talking about like knitting machines is just no better than like manufactured, widely created, like big manufacturer products, right? But this girl continued to spend, I think, an hour making one single hat. And I was like, how is that the same as a manufacturer? Do you think a manufacturer spends an hour on one single hat? No. They're going to spend way longer. But unfortunately, like, these artists have been driven to use these tools because they're not getting the return on their time investment when they price their stuff the way it's meant to be priced. So if you price a hat that takes you 5 hours to create, if you crochet it by hand or knit it by hand, you're going to price it like, if you want to make up for the materials and everything like that, say you want to make minimum wage, which right now, let's say generous minimum wage and say $15 an hour. I know that's not minimum wage everywhere. But if you want to do $15 an hour, it took you 4 hours to make, and you want to make money back on the supplies that you spent money on, you're going to have to charge at a minimum of, let me do math on my head really quick, 5 hours, 30, 60, 75, so like $100 for a hat that you spent that long on to make up for the cost and the time you put in. That's like minimum wage. But people complain about that price, and people say like, oh, it's not worth that time. But also, you want a hat. You know, I don't know. That's the struggle with like fast fashion and everything, because it's so easy for them to produce this stuff at hardly any cost. So we've lost not only quality goods, but the value that we used to put on artisans. We don't value the people that create that stuff anymore because we can get it for $10 or even less sometimes. And so we're going to just rely on cheaper stuff. But also it has a lot to do with like the money that people have to put into that stuff. It used to be that like you could spend $100 on a hat or like a coat. Well, okay, a coat obviously is bigger than a hat, so it's going to cost more. So you could easily spend the equivalent of like $200 on a coat. I say the equivalent because like 200 years ago, $200 was more like $20. But people easily spent that on a coat, but it would be a good quality coat that would last them forever and that they would wear for everything, instead of having 10 coats and the coat rips out every 3 years. It would be like, you could have that coat for life. If it didn't fit you anymore, easily resizable, because a lot of the clothing would be made in a way that it would fit you the way you are. So like dresses and skirts you tie around you instead of buttoning to this exact size. So it's just interesting to think about like the way that stuff has changed. It used to be very much tailored to the consumer. Now it's just like, okay, here's a bunch of stuff. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants the same thing compared to everything being custom made, pretty much. Made for you instead of we're made to want things. Anyway, that's my rant about consumerism, I guess. Don't know where that came from, but there you go. Now you have it. I hope that was an enjoyable rant. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about now. What's your favorite cookie? Personally, I like chocolate chip, but that's my like basic answer. But what I really love the most is oatmeal cookies. Not oatmeal raisin, oatmeal cookies. And it is a shame that people need to ruin oatmeal cookies by adding raisins to them. That is my hot take. It's not really a hot take. I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Especially when you like see an oatmeal cookie and you're like, is that chocolate chips? That might be chocolate chips. And then you bite into it and no, it is not chocolate chips. It is raisins. I guess I understand like why people put fruit into cookies. Because if you didn't have sweetener, that would be the way to make them sweet. So that's probably how it started. But also, now that we've had chocolate, we know it's better, right? Unless you're allergic. If you're allergic to chocolate, you don't have to eat chocolate, obviously. That would be bad. I actually grew up with a friend who, she wasn't like deathly allergic, but she was pretty allergic to chocolate. She would get lots of hives and stuff. It was really unfortunate for her because she loved chocolate. I felt bad. For a second there, with how much I was saying chocolate, I was like, sounds like the SpongeBob episode with the chocolate bars. I just want to finish the outline today. Well, no, that's not true. I want to hyperfixate on this, and I can't tell if it's my meds working or if it's just that I've reached the peak of adulthood where I don't even have time to let my ADHD do what it does. Because, like, hyperfixating. I could hyperfixate on stuff for so long. Even now, like, if I wanted to, I could just sit here for, like, hours. I could look up at the clock and it'd be midnight, and that'd be fine with me. But I've reached this, like, point where I have to go to bed because I know I have to get up early because I'm a teacher and because of all this other stuff. I'm almost, like, too tired to risk staying up, like hyperfixating on something and staying up because I know that I'm going to be so tired. Whereas before, like even 2 years ago, I would just be like, oh well, who cares? That's how you know you're getting older. That makes me think of the Distractable episodes. I was listening to Distractable pretty obsessively for a little while, and there were like 3 episodes where the theme was like we're getting older. This is my we're getting older episode of my streaming, and the sign is that I have gray hairs coming in and I go to sleep on time. And I think 10 o'clock is super late. Actually, I think 7 o'clock is late. Right now I'm like, man, it's getting late. 21-year-old me would be crying. And it's funny because I still went to bed early when I was 21. But I didn't think 7 o'clock was late, though. I at least had an awareness about the fact that no, normal people don't think 7 o'clock is early, or late, because normal people aren't that tired at 7. I don't know why I'm saying normal people. That's just night owls, people who stay up late. Alright, so we have 2 more bee legs to do. And gotta finish the wing and a few more honeycombs. Not bad, not bad. But again, I did not think it would take me this long. Then again, the last yarn painting I did on an actual canvas, the canvas was like a third of the size of this one. This one is much larger, so I don't know why I'm surprised that it's taking me this long. I've never made a yarn painting on this big of a canvas. But honestly, I'll probably start doing way bigger ones. I don't know. I have this gigantic canvas. I could make a honeycomb and put like a bunch of bees on it. I should sculpt some bees. I just want to make art all the time. Guys, help my stuff blow up so that I can just make art. I don't know though. I'm torn between wanting to teach and wanting to just make art. I'm torn between a lot of things that I want to do. It's almost like I'm a jack of all trades and I enjoy a little bit of everything. I always talk about like how I wish I could have some of my husband's time because not that the things he does is important too, but I have like a million hobbies that I regularly like to enjoy, and he plays games. Like he plays computer games and VR games. Like I wish I had time to play VR too. Or I've been kind of like hyperfixating on Minecraft too. In fact, I might play for a little while when I get off of stream. But when am I supposed to play Minecraft? If I work and then I come home and then I sometimes stream or sometimes have other things. I mean, I'm always busy. That's fine. First world problems, am I right? I just look at my husband sometimes and I'm like, what you doing? And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, what? How does one do nothing? Please tell me. Tell me your secret. I want to sometimes have time to do nothing. But alas, my obsessions always get in the way. Oh my gosh. I just thought of like the consequences of my own actions thing. That meme. But make it the consequences of my own obsession, maybe? I don't know. I've been thinking about just like hopping on stream a bunch. I mean, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to just stream all over the place so that I could see which days I get the most engagement or something. But a lot of times when I get home from work, I just want to turn my brain off. But this kind of is that, though. This is kind of doing that. It's achieving the same goal. Because all I'm doing is just running my mouth, which is just me thinking, which already happens. So it's not like it's extra work, and then I'm just making art. That's a good point, me. Thanks, me. I got your back. How nice of you, me. I sound crazy. I'm gonna stop now. If you're watching, welcome to my insanity. It's fun here. I hope people actually don't think I'm insane. I'm only a little crazy, okay? Like a manageable amount of crazy. And I don't mean like slash tires, stalking people crazy. I mean like dance like an idiot to, you know that one song with the seal spinning in circles? That song. So dancing like an idiot to that song, making a weird face crazy. That's me. That's my kind of crazy. The good kind, in my opinion. Example, Sophia Nygaard. She is my kind of crazy. I love her videos so much. She's the best kind of crazy, mixing things together. Science experiments, but make it makeup and random stuff and not actually scientific. Definitely sign me up. Sounds good to me. So I definitely think that artists all have a little bit of crazy in them. Now, I'm not crazy like cut off my ear crazy. Rest in peace, Van Gogh. But I'm crazy in other ways. So, that's me. It has been an hour. Wow. I should drink water. So I've been a little annoyed with TikTok lately. Excuse me. I have been trying to figure out, like, the live streaming. Oh, that's water. I thought that was glue. I've been trying to figure out how to live stream from my computer, because then I can just have, I can have that on Restream with my other things that I'm streaming from. But it has not worked. When I look it up, it says there's like an option when you choose live stream to stream from like console or PC, but I don't even get that option. So I think I'm just not allowed to stream, but it won't let me request to be allowed. So kind of weird. Not really sure what's going on there. Oh, I'm a goofball. I meant to open that so I could check something. So I've been kind of bummed about that. It'd be nice if I could just have everything all at once, or all together, so I could just see like all the messages. But I cannot. Oh my gosh, double chin. Don't mind my double chin. What am I trying to do? I forget. No. What am I doing? I forget. Okay. I was just checking to make sure messages were coming through, but they were. I just haven't gotten any, so that's fine. 'Tis the life of a newer streamer, so here we are. I am shocked my cat has been sitting there this whole time. If you're on TikTok right now watching me, I have a cat cam on Twitch. I don't even know if I licked If I linked my Twitch, no, I did not. That's weird. I don't know if I linked my Twitch through TikTok or anything. I should probably double check that when I get done, huh? Good idea. Because then people can go look if they want to see the cat cam. She's been sleeping like this whole time. She's so cute. Right now it's just like her back, but earlier she was snuggled up so you could see her face and like her paws were kind of snuggled against her face. It was so cute. Gotta get like a second bed and another cat cam. I have like a whole overlay set up too, but I have not figured out how to actually get my overlay to work. So it says like new follower, new subscriber, new donor, and nothing shows up. Well, one, because I haven't gotten any of those things yet. That's okay. Patience, young grasshopper. I should make a bunch of bug yarn paintings. I don't like bugs. I don't know why that would be my idea. I don't really care for bugs. Unless you're a bee or a ladybug. I don't want nothing to do with you. Or caterpillars. And ants actually are fine too. Except for when, I don't know, if there's like a bunch of them, or if they have wings, I don't like ants. Super random facts, but it is what it is. We had like an infestation in our bathroom. This is probably part of the reason why our floor is sinking, because we probably had like termites, but there were ants with wings, which I saw were either termites or carpenter ants. So we like trapped them. We killed a bunch of them. But they freaked me out so bad that I refused to go in the bathroom that is on like that side of the house. We've got 2 bathrooms. So I refused to use our second bathroom, which isn't a big deal because we have 2 bathrooms. So it was fine. But my husband would like make fun of me about it. And I was like, what if I'm going to the bathroom and a bunch of ants just pop out of somewhere and attack me? I know. It's kind of stupid, but there were a lot, though. Like, not just, oh, there's 1 or 2. They were coming out of the drains. There were so many dead ants on the ground with wings and live ones just crawling around. They were big, too. They weren't just the little tiny ants. They were huge. So, yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't like it. But luckily we haven't seen them for, I think, like a year. I think. It says 2 people are watching me on Twitch. Hello! I'm just talking about my ant trauma, not like family ant, but bugs. No, I don't have family ant trauma because my aunt is the best. I don't really have that many aunts. I have... No, she's my cousin. She's not my aunt. Man, I don't know my family tree. But my one aunt is so crazy. She's so funny. I love her so much. She is crazy. Like me, but way more. She talks so fast. She sounds like a chipmunk. She's not like high-pitched talking or anything, but sometimes she talks so fast that you're like, you're not even saying human words. Like, what language is that? But it's hilarious. She also has this ringtone on her phone that's like a high-pitched laughing, like sped up laughing. It sounds so crazy, but it fits her so well. It's pretty funny. So maybe crazy just runs in my family. Yeah, not a surprise there. She's so funny, though. She's always happy to see you, too, which is nice. I don't think I've ever seen her in a bad mood. I wonder if she can even have bad moods. We're getting so close to being done with the outline. Yay! I'm having a little trouble with the feet. I'm not able to get them curved like I want. The first 2 feet that I did, I found yarn pieces that were already curved. So this one and this one, they were curved from being like bunched up. But because I've been using more, it's not like crumpled up the same on the inside of the yarn ball. So it's not quite working how I need it to. Back down to 1 viewer on Twitch. That's okay. That's all right with me. No! I hate it when that happens, when I cut the yarn and it pulls the full thing of yarn off. Okay, this song is annoying me. Stop. I understand why they like limit you on what type of music you can listen to, but I just want to listen to Harry Potter music. I should look into it more. I had started... It was probably a really bad idea, but I wasn't really thinking about it, and I was listening to the Harry Potter books on stream and making art. It was just on TikTok, so I don't think it would have mattered there as much, but I was like, wait a second, I don't think I'm allowed to do that, because it's someone else's intellectual property. I'm not really sure how that works. But it also would make sense that I wouldn't be allowed to do that. So, but I really enjoyed that because, like, people liked listening to the Harry Potter books with me. And I love Harry Potter. So, win-win. But also not a win. Because of the reason I said. I don't like making the feet of the bee. Defeat. When you lose. Right? Defeat. So funny. Ah! Where did this come from? When did you come off of there? Did I say you could come off of there? Excuse you. Another fun fact. If you press down too much on your yarn when you're sticking it down, this is really interesting, but so if you press down on it, it's like a sponge and it soaks up all the glue. So if it soaks up all the glue, then it's no longer on the surface and then it won't stick anymore. So you have to very lightly press it down, otherwise you have to use a way more glue. So if you're ever trying this out and it's not working and you're getting frustrated, that's probably why. I had a lot of my students that would get frustrated about that because their yarn wouldn't stick. But a lot of times it was an issue with patience, more so than with like technique or ability, I guess. Well, maybe technique too. I don't know. I'm getting tired. We're getting closer to 7:30, and that's going to be about the end of my time. But I wanted to finish this, but I'm so tired. You know what? Maybe I'll just finish a little bit more, and then I'll be done here, and then I'm going to choose my colors. That's what I'll do. Okay, so for the honeycombs, I'm thinking of doing yellow. Duh. So I'm going to grab pieces and kind of wind them up. So that I can attach them. Not attach them, but I want to lay down the colors so I can see what I'm working with here. Okay, so yellow. I mean, I kind of just want to do a bunch of yellow. This is pretty much the same yellow, but this one would be good for the fluff on the abdomen of the bee. So I definitely need this, but I need to make it like frayed, which I have this like yarn brush thing that I can use for it. So, oh, I also realized that I'm wearing a yellow knitted sweater type of a thing. Yeah, so those are similar colors, so I'll just use that for the middle of the bee. And then I gotta figure out what I want to do for the legs and for the wings. I'm thinking for the wings, either this like really light bluish gray color or this blue. I do really like this yarn, but it's not going to fit in the delicate wings the way I want it to. So I might have to go with this lighter one. Or I could do this giant blue yarn. Oh my gosh. Oh, I do have a dark gray. Sweet. So this will be for like the inside of the legs and stuff. It's pretty dark, so it might not, you might not be able to see the difference, but that's okay. So this gray, I think I might do the blue, the like teal color. Is this the same yellow? Yes. Do I not have more yellow? Oh, right. I was thinking of maybe taking some of this. It's not yarn, it's rope. But you know how beehives sometimes have like the darker honeycomb pieces? The only thing though, I was thinking I might need to undo it because like this, it might be too thick. Right? Like that's kind of a thick yarn. I don't know if I like that. I might need to go to the store and get more yarn. Oh my gosh, my husband would not like to hear me say that. And I only say that because I have so much yarn. Like, way too much yarn for one person, honestly. I do, however, have this other really big yarn. That's, oh, this is a lot of yarn. If you can't see it on TikTok, it's huge. So, maybe I use some of this yarn, huh? Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. The only problem, though, is I think this is thicker than... Maybe oh, this is what I should use for the bee. The bee. Yes. That's how I'll make the bee fuzzy. Hee hee. I figured it out. So I gotta add a stripe here. Yay. Because then I can just do like one singular piece for the bee body. Yay. And I'll have to do the gray for the stripes. Alright, I think I figured that out pretty good there. Okay, well, I am going to get going. I think I'm going to end my stream on TikTok first. Not my best stream overall with at least TikTok. Twitch is different because I haven't really done all that great in general streaming on Twitch yet. I don't know. I feel like maybe the art platform or the art subsection of Twitch is not as good. Oh well, that's fine. It is what it is. But I have figured out my next steps. So instead of doing this yellow for this, I'm going to do it for the honeycomb. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I might still change my mind about a few things. We'll see. But I think the texture difference will be good. So. Alright. I am going to end the stream for now. Kitty. What is it? I don't know if you guys can hear her meowing. She's not that loud, though. Alright, I'm going to end my stream. Thank you so much for joining me if you did. I will be streaming again on next Tuesday. Probably not Saturday, because I'm still working on that sign. But we'll see. Maybe in the next few weeks I can start doing that. I'll see you all next week.